Hi all, this is Sai. So I hope you all had a great week, and it's already Thursday evening, and we all be a bit excited that we are heading towards weekend, right? Especially it's tomorrow's going to be Friday. So this Friday is really a special day for me because it is the neutral day between the two extremes. Like it is the end of the weekdays and it's the beginning of the weekend. So yeah, literally Fridays are literally awesome days. That's why sometimes in some projects they call something like Fun Friday kind of thing. Yeah. Anyways, so today I'm here to discuss something interesting stuff. So when it comes to interesting, it is not about going to be anything technical training or not going. It's not going to be anything about any kind of explanation on any architectures or the design patterns kind of thing. No, I'm not going to talk anything about it. It's already Friday, right? So we don't take things much serious. Let's go in a interesting, fun-oriented discussion, right? So for this fun-oriented discussion, so I came up with a topic called programming. Well, what is it? Fun with programming. Well, that is little bit uh, weird, right? What is it, man? Like you are saying programming and you are saying the same time it's fun and interesting one. How does it happens? Yeah, it is. It is really fun. So most of the time, this word called programming, right? It is something like it gives an impression kind of an order or instruction kind of thing. But that is why most of the time, you know, people feel little bit bored to do programming stuffs, and most of the time, they people people say like myself, even I'm one among all of us, right? Even myself as a programmer, I'm being a developer for past 8 years, but still I do get bored out. It's not about writing programmings I'm getting bored out, but it's about we are interacting a lot with non-living things. That is a boring factor. We work with a lot of laptops, servers, computers, digital devices, mobiles, iPads, lot of things, but they don't have any heart soul in them. So that is the reason working upon these programming stuffs are a little bit considered to be like an alienated one. Things like they are not at all being considered as a gelling part. Rather, it is being considered as like an alienated one. That is actually you know something is missed out whenever we had been taught with about programming kind of thing. So what I say is like programming is not actually about instructions, right? Rather, it's just a language. So now I'm communicating with you all through English. So English is a language. It's been spoken or understood globally around the world, at least most of the places. So I'm using that language as a communication tool to communicate my thought process, my thoughts with you all. Same way, programming any language, programming like any language. Yeah, I come to the word called language. Yeah, programming is nothing but a language that actually used to communicate with digital devices. That is all. That is all about programming is. Programming is not something rocket science like what Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos built out. No, it's just a language like English, Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, French, Italian, whatever maybe, Chinese. It's all about languages to communicate with people, right? Similar way, it's a language. Similarly, we have different languages like be it Java, React. React is actually it's not a language; it's a framework. Maybe JavaScript. Uh, then what else? Python, Perl. A lot of things are there actually. Uh, but yeah, there is a different classifications there. Certain things are actually higher level programming languages, and certain things are actually scripting languages. Let's not go deep dive on that part. But anyways, from high level generic perspective, these are all languages used to communicate with the computers. That's it. For example, see, um, this weekend probably I might ask my friend to book a ticket for a particular movie. Okay, he will be booking a ticket. on behalf of me, right? That is all. So I'll be saying to him in either of the language. Maybe I'll communicate with him English or Tamil or whatever maybe language. Okay, and he'll be booking me, right? He'll be booking the ticket for me. Similarly, I'll be asking my laptop to do some task, all right, through some languages. That's how programming works out, right? And programming is not something superstitiously or alienatedly jumped from universe into this world. Okay, everything was being developed by humans like us. So, you know, uh, whatever we say, whatever we do, are most of the time are being inspired by all our real-time surroundings only. So if you take any languages, whoever developed the language, for be it James Gosling sir who developed Java, or maybe someone else who developed some other languages, they all would have developed the language with the inspiration that they would have got from their own life cycle, lifestyle. That's how programming languages are being built out. See, for example, some I would say I would give a few examples like consider OOPS concept, okay, which is common to any languages, probably high level languages like Java, C++, or whatever maybe languages. So, so when you would say about OOPS concepts, there are a lot of concepts of that, and one among that is like inheritance. Okay, inheritance, if you say, it is really a common word in all our lifestyle. For example, I'm inheriting the properties, okay, the way the entire the myself, right? I'm just inherited by my parents, my grandparents. So all the properties, the way of actions I'm doing, the way I'm speaking, the way I'm being physically built out, everything is being inherited from my parents and my from my grandparents. It's a family inheritance. Something called we call it as genetics, right? The same thing in programming, you are inheriting a property of a parent class into a child class, so that it's like, why do we inherit these things? Simple. In order to make use of already existing stuff, reusing the stuffs. As a human being, we always want to be little bit in comfort zone. We never wanted to do all those things again and again. We wanted to be always in comfort zone, so that's why we mostly look out for some easy steps, so where we can reuse the same stuff what has been already defined. Similarly, even God has taught us the same thing in a way. Instead of creating each and every human in a different tones or different ideologies, he or she brought into ideology that let's let it get it inherited. So I'll just develop only one soul, a parent soul. From that parent soul, uh, the next generations will be inherited. So I don't have to worry a lot about developing the human beings to the greater extent. It's not only about human beings, for any living beings. Similarly, it's something, right? Same thing. Inheritance is nothing. It's not a keyword or it's not a buzzword. It is an what to say? It is a mechanism, or it is a paradigm that has been followed in our real life. Similarly, if you take any kind of keywords in languages, something called as we always call as exceptions, and most of the time, people hate to see exceptions. But exceptions, the keyword itself implies that what is that? Exception is something which is not normal, right? We say like that is an exceptionally great performance kind of thing. Sometimes we say that is that a performance is really great, and exceptionally great means it is not at all normal. It's significantly good today, a kind of thing, a great today kind of thing. Similarly, exception is something in programming which is not going to happen on a regular basis, on a rare basis, on a not an happy path. We always call something like happy path in developments. Happy path is nothing but a straightforward simple flow. That's called as happy path kind of thing. Not exactly, but just I'm just giving a raw example. So whatever when you said you when you whatever you do it from a programming perspective, you are, for example, let me give you an example. You know, you are writing a program, okay, to read uh, your some a list of names from a particular file. Probably list of names might be probably, for example, what I could say. Okay, I'll give you a raw example. In olden days, our fathers and grandfathers, they used to always have some kind called diaries. So what actually they do is like they log all their memories, like close buddies, birthdays, important information. So all these things they'll just log it, or they'll write it in the diaries. So whenever they require, they'll open the diary, and then figure out the data, and they'll act upon it. Similarly, what we are doing is we are storing the data in terms of files in the library, in the computers, and we are asking the program to look out that particular file and read the data for me, kind of thing I'm saying. But this is a happy path. Okay, I'm asking a program to read a file, read details from that, and show it to me. That's it. But what if the file is not available? The file missing is not going to be a regular process. I have in mind that at this point of time, I mean this point of place, file would be there for sure. But due to some other exceptional case, some other worst case, or some other non-expected scenario, the file would have got deleted, or the file would have got moved to different location. But by the time when I run the program, right, when I run the code, it is trying to locate the file and read the content, but the file is not available, and the program is saying that, oh my god, the file is not available for me to read it. What shall I do? It is asking me. That is that is what is called as exception. Consider the whole scenario. If I am being in 1980s or 1970s, I little bit sometimes I have a bad memory, so I would have placed my diary in somewhere, in some locations, and immediately I would have called out my grandma or my mom. I would have asked them, "Where's my diary? Where is my diary?" Kind of thing, right? Similarly, that is an exceptional case. I'm not always going to lose my diary, but sometimes out of memory I might misplace it. Similarly, the program also. See, the most interesting fact is we have something called sixth sense, the intelligence. But the programs, right, not the traditional. Forget about the artificial intelligence and machine learning stuffs. But normal programming stuffs, they don't have any intelligence. They are all like yes masters. Whatever that we gonna say to them, they will do it. The only trick point is we have to say them in a way they understand it. That's all. That's it all about programming stuff. A lot of things. Any language, if you take, there's something called in React. Okay, there's something called if you ask, there's something called component. So React is a framework that's built for UI. Okay, it's a UI framework built on JavaScript. Okay, so when you come something about visually, what is it visuals of? See, consider this shelf is a website kind of thing. Okay, I have my god statue over there, and I have my speaker over here. I have my keyboards are there here, and behind my chair there is my laptops and my other artifacts, digital gadgets are there. Okay, so consider this is a entire layout. I'm placing different components in different locations. Similarly, in React, since it is a UI framework, UI development framework, we are developing a UI page where each and every elements in the page will be called as components. Right? These are components. If these are called as components, they are also called as components, right? In a website, if you see login button, maybe a search bar, it is also component of the web page, right? Similarly, they're calling this component. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Uh, and and most important thing, right? This programming always actually have a tie-up with something called algorithms. As soon as when I say algorithms, people will get busted out. Not people. I don't want to be more generic. Some of my friends, they get busted out. They will never want me to talk about algorithms. But the algorithms are really, really helpful in our real time life itself. Okay, consider here I'm having a shelf. Okay, this is my shelf. Okay, in this shelf, I'm gonna arrange my things, probably my dresses, my other entities like my what is it, cycling uh, gears or something like that. Okay, what generally we do, what generally we do, or else consider you're traveling to your some tourist spots. Okay, somewhere you're traveling along with your friends or along with your family. Okay, what you do is like the day before traveling or the day two before traveling, you will start packing. Okay, you'll take an empty baggage and you will place all your dresses, your mobiles, I mean digital devices, cameras, dresses, your toiletries, a lot of things in a different locations, right? We'll not dump it like just like that. We will place it in an order that is easily accessible for us, right? For example, I'll be placing my mobile chargers, my laptop in a different zone where easily I can access it. At the same time, I might keep my some other stuffs, for example, that is not immediately usable. Maybe what else? Something my probably like my cosmetic stuffs like body spray, something like that. That might not be frequently. Might be I'm not maybe using. So I might stuck it into a different location. Okay, so this is the planning, right? So there is a space. Okay, in that space we are supposed to add upon items so that I'll be able to store all my planned items in that space. At the same time, the accessibility will be according to my own wish. Right? That's it. That is all call about the process of doing this stuff is algorithm, and the entities, that is the baggage, right? That is called as data structure. That's it, man. Data structure is not something like different stuff. It's not a science. It's just a cupboard or a baggage. Different data structures are there, right? For example, if I'm going to office, my data structure will be my backpack. If I'm going to my native, my data structure will be my trolley. That's it. Similarly, the process how I'm working with my data structure is called as algorithm. That's it. And algorithm is not something like again a buzzword. Algorithm is nothing but the ideology how we are gonna do the some process. That's it. All right. So similarly, like adding the items into data structure, right? That is a process, right? Mm, by default, I might not have that intelligence to add it. I need to think in a way that okay, these are the places. If I place my entities, if I place my things, I'll be able to access it out in a in an efficient way. Efficiency matters a lot, and efficiency differs from person to person, and that's why called as like algorithms, data structures. And this algorithm and data structures, how has it been implemented? Through languages. That's called programming. That's all three different correlations. Have you got it? Perfect. And when it comes to programming, right, no matter whatever language you learn. See, if you ask me, I'm a programmer. Okay, I'm not biased with any languages. Of course, predominantly I'll be working with Java, but I'm not biased to any languages. But Java and JavaScript kind of thing, JavaScript frameworks. But still, I'm open to any language. I have worked on with Python. I have worked on with C Sharp, .NET. Yeah, different wide range of stuffs. Not to the great extent, but at least to the minimal extent wherever that is required. But any programming stuff, any development activities, if you want to do it, the prime factor, I always believe that there should be two different qualities. Uh, at least most of the programmers should have. What is that quality is all about? It is not about knowledge. It is not about. It's not at all about knowledge. It's not. There is no prerequisite for this qualities. I'm 100% sure, buddies. Like there's no prerequisite. You don't have to go for any kind of tutorial centers, or you don't have to attend any kind of certificate programming, or any you don't have to even touch Google. You don't have to ask even Google to do how to get these two qualities. You know what are the two best qualities, and most importantly, we all have that qualities. The only thing is It differs from person to person where and how we are projecting those qualities. The first quality is imagination and visualization. Let me repeat: imagination and visualization. The second quality is patience. These are the two important qualities any programmer should have. This is alone, I'll be a little bit constrained, but like these are mandatory for, especially if it is a development related program and stuff. You know, being a developer is actually not a profession. It's not at all a profession. It is a mindset. It's definitely a mindset. Being a developer, it's actually a mindset. Once you become a developer, you can never become you can never leave that one. You can never leave that capability out of you. It is a mindset, it is a skill set. Of course, I don't say it as a skill set. It is a mindset. Again, I repeat it. Why I'm saying that a mindset is, it's all about our mind only. Consider, I'll give you a raw example. If you I think most of us will be using WhatsApp application, right? From a developer perspective, what how I see WhatsApp will be different from how my uh, someone else, like my maybe my mom sees a WhatsApp, or my mom grandma sees WhatsApp. That is different. That is the that is the difference between a developer mindset and a non-developer mindset. Let me show you. Let me tell you how that difference happens. So when my mom or my grandma uses WhatsApp, what they actually do is they will call out my name, Sai. They'll type it, they'll send it. Okay. And that message, they will assume that that message will reach out me to my number. Okay. Maximum they what they will do is, if the message has been sent from their mobile to my mobile, if there is a double tick, they will understand that okay, WhatsApp message has reached Sai. That's it. If I have seen that message, that those two double tick will be marked as blue color, and they will come to know that okay, Sai has already seen that message, he'll call me back. That's it. So this is the maximum stuff they might think about WhatsApp. They, for them, it is just a tool to communicate with me or my along with my family, every anyone. Right? That's it. But as a developer, as a programmer, how I visualize WhatsApp is a little bit different. You know what I used to think is, okay, I'm typing hi, okay, and I'm clicking send button. Okay, what actually happens here? When I click this button, consider my mobile is connected to my home Wi-Fi. Okay, what actually happens is this hi message will be capsuled into I mean, network packet. Okay, and that packet would actually um, gets transited to the my home router. From the router, the DNS, right? The router, it reaches to the ISP. Okay, here there is BT. So BT ISP reaches. In between BT and my router, there might be some other hops. Okay, where BSP would have some tie-ups. Sorry, BT, ISP, right? They might have some tie-ups from BT server. Okay, it need not reaches always direct to the primary server. It might have some load balancers. Okay, from the load balancers, it reaches the actual internet server. From that server, it reaches to some other network in India. Okay, in between there might be different hops will be there, and after that it reaches to a network zone, Vodafone or Airtel server, something that is running in India, in my hometown. Okay, and that reaches to the highest Airtel. For example, let us consider Airtel. It reaches Airtel server, and that's also not going to be straightforward. There are a lot of hops will be there. From Airtel server, it reaches to my home router, my native home router. From my native home router, it reaches to my grandma mobile, or my from my mom's mobile. You know, this entire cycle of communication, everything happens in matter of seconds, but there's a long route of travel is happening out. Have you seen that? Can you imagine that route? That is what This kind of visualization and imagination is required for development. When you click an application, when you launch an application, and when you do some kind of operation, right? So for example, last time I said about e-commerce site. Yeah, let's take the same example. I'm gonna search a product, I'm gonna place an order. Okay. The real fact is, when I click the checkout button in the e-commerce site, the request is moving towards n number of servers, and finally it reaches the merchant who is going to give me the product, and it is a merchant who brings the product to me, right? It's a long route of stuff, but every each and every the whole route of transaction or whole route of traveling is completely virtual. No one would see what is it happening out. I don't have any visibility for BT server. I don't have any visibility. I don't have any access for WhatsApp server. I don't know. I really don't know that where is my WhatsApp server is, the application, the where is it? I don't know. But from a conceptual perspective, I can visualize them. This kind of visualization need not be, what I'm said is about WhatsApp need not be always rational, but this is how things might work out. The same kind of visualization is what required in case of application development. Any problems we get in programming, right, it actually has its own solution. The tricky point that we need to get it is this level of visualization and imagination would take ourselves without any difficulty to the solution point, which will be lying inside the problem statement itself. That's all. This is all about the trick about imagination and visualization. Imagination is nothing but just lying down imagination. I need to visualize. Okay, I need to visualize things in a real time flow. Consider the network packet containing a high word, right? It's considered as like a bots, and this bots is being transmitted to different servers, and from that server it is to my family, and the bots are opened and the message is being populated to them to see. So this is how things happen. So it's like a querying your physical entities, right? Similar way. That's it. So this is all about. And the next one is patience. Patience is very much important in terms of programming. Why patience is important is like, not all the cases will be revealed out from the first sight itself. That's what calls love at first sight, right? Programming is not about that one. Development is not about that one, because not everything will be revealed in the first sight itself. And most importantly, since I said everything is about imagination, visualization, we don't have the physical, sorry, uh, physical assurance of something being existing. Anytime anything can pop up. So to face those things, to undergo certain kind of challenges during programming, we always require something called patience. In my cases, I have built out super complex algorithms in a very smoother way, and very minute things would have bugged me a lot. Maybe missing a semicolon in between something, missing a delimiter in between the statements. And early times, nowadays for JavaScript and all, we are getting beautiful IDEs like Visual Studio Code kind of thing. But early times and all, like there were no such kind of IDEs for developing JavaScript programs. When it was like jQuery and stuff and all, like 8 years or 10 years before, at least to my knowledge. At that time and all, it is not, JavaScript is not a compiler language. So while typing, I might not be knowing what is the error that I'm using. Only during the execution, I'll be figuring out, okay, this is how something has broken. Where is it? And that broken also, I cannot directly see it. I need to open the browser's backend, then the developer tab, and then I need to check, okay, this is how this line of JavaScript has got failed out. It's a kind of thing. Yeah, but you know, since all these are correlated, it is really interesting, guys. Programming, developing stuff is really interesting stuff. I had been with this IT for past 8 years, as I said earlier. So I had been exposed to different domains, starting from development, testing, and production support stuff. Kind of different domains. I have been working with a product team. So product team since like we will be like around 10 to 15 member people. Like we'll be taking care of entire product life cycle. Okay, so different domains I would have worked out. So out of all those domains, development is most interesting and most easiest job, easiest profession, and easiest, yeah, not easiest, not only easiest, it's more about fun oriented stuff that we can always experience, guys. So I always recommend my people, I always wish a lot of people from my buddies and stuff who really wanted to get out of program, like I'll pull them into programming because I really wanted them to enjoy that one. Like in Tamil they say something like uh, sorry, I don't get that exact word. I don't want to be wrong with the statements, but what is something like I wanted to share my wonderful joy, wonderful experience with my fellow buddies also. So that's why I recommend, I mostly motivate people to work a lot of technical aspects. Even within my team, I have been leading the team for a couple of maybe 2 3 3 years, I guess. So everyone, I will be motivate them, like I will make them interesting. I'll Whenever they speak with me, they really feel like, okay, it's like program is like playing a game kind of thing. I really want them to feel that. So that is my end goal. you know Teaching something is not something like lecturing something. It is something like we have to make them really love that one, and that is the success point. If someone says like I really love that particular concept set by me, it is the best credit that I can get it out, really. And as a developer, that kind of satisfaction is always required for us, and we always look for the satisfaction because you know uh, we as a developer, right, each and every time when I develop some applications and when I see that applications in the live, right, we always get to feel like we are like mom. Yeah, of course, we are the mom of the product, the application. When someone is playing with our application, someone is working on our application is performing in a high performance level, means we will be feeling proud of us. Like how a mom will feel proud of her son or daughter when they are getting credits, right? Similar kind of feel we developers would get that. Why? The reason is the love that we have on programming, the love, the care that we work on stuffs. And it is not something like we alone can do it. Oh, sorry, we alone would be doing it. Anyone, all of us can do it with some kind of thought process that whatever, by practicing some of the thought process that whatever I've shared with you now. All right, I hope you guys like really enjoy programming and stuffs. So I'm always open to talk anything technical anytime. So non-technical sometimes, I feel bored of talking. Sometimes you're also hearing, but if it is technical, irrespective of any language, anything, I'm always open to discuss and learn from everyone. As I said in my previous video about the framework hexagonal architecture, whatever the knowledge that I have is not something that built upon only from my effort. It is predominantly, it is mostly that the knowledge that I have as of now is something that I learned from all my peers, all my friends. So I'm always happy to discuss, and programming, developing is about collaborations and learning together only, guys. So yeah, I hope you might enjoy programming stuffs. Soon, see you with some other interesting topic. All right, and once again, I wish you all a happy, amazing, happy weekend. And yeah, you do always take breaks. Okay, breaks are very much important, and especially break. When I say break, uh, I don't know about the other professions, but for programmers and developers, breaks are mandatory. Breaks are really mandatory. No matter if you sit all night and work or all day and night, all day to work, but there is should be breaks. And by default, as you practice programming a lot, you don't have to take a break explicitly or wantedly. They feel you yourself will get the feel of, okay, I'm done, man. I'm done for the day. Let's take a break, and I will come back again. That breaks actually makes us more little bit motivated to come back again. Okay. All right, guys. See you. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you. Thank you so much for all the appreciations and stuff for the previous video, and I hope this also will be much more helpful for you.